Hey everyone, I'm Nick and welcome to the channel. Today we're checking out the ATOTO CB6. Now if you've watched the channel before, you'll know that I really like to have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay in my cars. And one of the things this does is it converts wired Android Auto or wired Apple CarPlay to wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay. But on top of that, it has a full Android system so you can run any app you want for entertainment, and it also includes an AI voice assistant app built in. So let's check it out. So in the box, we have the unit itself, all wrapped up. So we've got a micro SD card slot, a SIM card slot, and a USB-C port. Looks nice. And then we have some cables included. We have a USB-C to USB-C, USB-C to USB-A, and a dual USB-A for specific cars that require it. So this would be one specifically for power, one for data, and then you'd run the USB-A right here to USB-C in the unit. So this is for specific cars that require it. We had nice packaging. Everything ships nice and secure. Then in the bottom of the box, we also have a SIM card tool, very convenient to have, and manuals. One is a warranty booklet, and this is the manual booklet with a QR code so you can check out the manual on your phone. So let's take a quick look. So in the manual, they give a couple of examples of models that would need the Y cable for power. And that includes Nissan from 2016 to 2020, some Toyotas, some Lexuses, and stuff like that. So it's convenient to have. Now let's talk about compatibility. To use this, your car has to have at least wired Android Auto or wired Apple CarPlay. It'll work in cars that have a radio with a touchscreen, but it'll also work in those that have a touchpad. So that is good to know. Now one thing to keep in mind is that you have to manually toggle between Android Auto mode and Apple CarPlay mode. So depending on the car you have and which system you plan on using, you would have to press and hold the little button in here for 2 to 5 seconds to switch between modes. Once you select the right mode for your car, you shouldn't have to set it up again. And it's the last thing I want to mention before we go in the car is if you want to use data on this, you can either use a data SIM card or you can use your phone as a mobile hotspot if you're not using Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. So with a hotspot, you'd be able to run all the apps that you have installed on it natively to do whatever you want. So now that we've unboxed this, let's go test it out in a car. All right, so we are in my 2001 Mercedes S-Class that has an aftermarket head unit that has wired Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay. So we're gonna be connecting the CB6 via wired Android Auto. The first thing we're gonna do is plug this in, and then we're gonna run the wire to one of our USB ports. The lights come on. Got a blue LED and a green LED. And there's actually an LED ring right here, which looks very nice. Now, we'll see it's blinking green, and green is when it's trying to connect to Apple CarPlay. Now, since we are in an Android Auto vehicle, we're going to use a tool right here and push on the CP/AA, which might also be labeled as reset, for 2 to 5 seconds. Okay, now it's blinking blue for Android Auto. I think it rebooted. It's back on, now it's blinking blue. And it's connecting. And we are in the main operating system here. Well, right now this is not connected to the internet because I don't have a SIM card in it, or a Wi-Fi hotspot that this is connected to. Now if we press this menu icon here, it's going to bring us to the main apps. Now if you want to use the ATOTO CB6 as a wireless Android Auto or wireless CarPlay adapter, we're going to go into the SpeedPlay app right here. So I'll click that, and we're going to connect to BT CB6 AB18. Now the last 4 letters and numbers are going to be unique to your device, but we're going to look for that in our Bluetooth settings. So I'm going to go in my iPhone to start, and we're going to find right here CB6 AB18. Hit pair. You see it's connecting, and we're in wireless Apple CarPlay. So we can scroll around. We've got all the apps that are compatible to show up. We can switch to dark mode. We can go back and change the wallpaper. and you can use all the apps that are installed. So standard Apple CarPlay. I'm going to put on Spotify real quick. That's pretty responsive. That's good. I have experienced other wireless CarPlay adapters that have slightly longer delay, so the implementation is really good on this. So that's really good. All right, now if you're done in wireless CarPlay, you can hit car to go back, and then you can just go back in via SpeedPlay, or you can go to the floating button here and go back home. Now, if you want to disconnect your phone from wireless Apple CarPlay, you're going to want to just turn off your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. And that will automatically disconnect you. So now we're back in SpeedPlay, and we'll do the same thing for Android Auto. So we will go to our Bluetooth, find CB6 AB18 again, and we're in Android Auto. So we got our whole menu here. It's pretty responsive too, looks good. We pop back into Spotify. Also nice and responsive, and it works great. So now that we've tested Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, let's take a quick tour of this Android system, because this is a fully fledged Android system, so you can run any apps you want. Now let's take a look at what's included. So we have Bluetooth phones, so you could connect your phone via Bluetooth to make calls. We've got a Google Maps app, a Messages app, a phone app. I mean, if you have a regular SIM card in here, presumably you should be able to make phone calls using that, just on board. We've got a settings app. We've got the car, which returns us back to the main operating system. An APK installer if you want to sideload apps. A Bluetooth music app, so you can play music over Bluetooth into the ATOTO unit without connecting via Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. SpeedPlay app, which we saw for wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay. A Chrome web browser. We've got a gallery for any images you want. The Play Store to install apps, YouTube Music app, a Contacts app, Amazon Music, YouTube, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, System Update if you want to update the CB6, Find Apps, which is another way to install apps, Bluetooth Lock if you want to lock out the Bluetooth, Online Resources, Lumi Auto, Drivechat, which is an AI voice assistant, LED mirror if you want to mirror your phone screen, a music player if you want to play music off of files you put on using the micro SD card slot, video player for the same thing if you want to play video. We got track head unit, which is actually a car tracker, we'll talk about it a little later. Prime Video, APK Pure, GPS Test, Disney Plus, File Explorer, SoundHound, MX Player, Netflix Waze, TikTok, VLC, and Google. Let's go to settings. So here you'll have all the system settings, Wi-Fi if you want to connect to Wi-Fi, display settings. You can have the floating button off, this button right here, which is a bunch of shortcuts. It's pretty convenient to have. You can change the launcher style. Let's take a look at what launcher 1 is. Okay, so it looks different. Yep, right here, instead of a sidebar on the left, we have it on the bottom. And we'll go to style 3. Okay, so it looks a little different. We've got apps right here. You could change your light mode and dark mode. I'm gonna go back to light mode. Temperature display, Celsius or Fahrenheit, whatever you prefer. Kilometers or miles per hour. Split app mode. You can choose the ratios. That's pretty neat. Our LED color settings right here. You can choose a rainbow, so right now it's cycling. So daytime mode and nighttime mode are to select the brightness. So if you want a little ambient light, and you can have auto mode if you want it to, dim automatically. Application info, let's see what's in more. Yeah, just normal Android settings, original vehicle settings. You can change the quality, start delay connection, media information. So that's good to know. Little tweaks you can make. And in other settings, you can have an app boot up automatically when you connect to the CB6. So if you wanted to always go in straight to wireless Android and Apple CarPlay, you should be able to do that by selecting SpeedPlay, and it would automatically boot that app as soon as the CB6 boots up. You can use a voice assistant app, and you can reset the factory settings. Now I'm going to connect this to Wi-Fi using my phone as a mobile hotspot, and we'll test out a couple of other features. Alright, so now that we're connected to the internet, I'm going to go to System Update, and we're going to check for an update for the unit. Current version, 2025, January 15th. We'll check. Current version is the latest version. That's great. That's always worth checking if you want really to be sure everything is the latest. So that is great. So now that means we can check some other things, like, let's see, Drivechat. So we need an internet connection for Drivechat and audio recording permissions, so we're gonna agree. Now to use Drivechat, we have to get the SwiftStone app on our phone, and using the app, we'll be able to log in to use the AI assistant. Okay, so you open your SwiftStone app, scan the QR code, we're in. So now you would use the voice button in the drive interface, which will be that. Say something and it'll respond. Okay, let's try it. Tell me about Mercedes.
Mercedes-Benz is a renowned German automotive brand known for producing luxury vehicles, trucks, and buses. It is a division of the German company Daimler AG. Here are some key points about Mercedes-Benz.
So you can see it's actually using GPT-4o. It's pretty neat if it's something you like to use. It's nice that it's built in so you can have it in your car. It looks like we have options to activate Apple CarPlay or activate Android Auto. Let's try activate Apple CarPlay. Activate Apple CarPlay. Yep, and it brought us in there. That's pretty cool. So it integrates with the system as well. And now that we're connected to the internet, we actually have the real-time weather display right here. As we keep going through, we have, let's see, you could log into your favorite music apps and all that. We have GPS test if you want to see your GPS connection through the ATOTO. In fact, let's take a quick look. Yep, looks like we have good reception, so that's great. Now let's talk about track head unit. So this is pretty neat. It allows you to, if you tuck this away in your car and it has a SIM card, for example, it will actually track where your vehicle is so you could look it up. So if that's ever a concern for you, you could set it up to have that functionality so you could figure out where your car is or, you know, find out where it was parked. So that's pretty neat. Now, since this also has Bluetooth capabilities, you could use an app like Torque and use this with the Bluetooth OBD2 scanners to show real-time data on your screen as well. And another thing that's really nice with the CB6 is that once it's all set up, you could just plug it into a different car and drop right into your favorite settings and apps right away. So let's say you always have this tethered to your phone, you have your favorite apps set up, you just put it in, have your same entertainment from one car to another. So it could be really convenient. So if you're, say, picking someone up at the airport and their flight's delayed, you could use this to watch videos, which of course you should only do when you're parked, but also switch over to wireless Android Auto or wireless Apple CarPlay when you're using it normally, so that when you get into your car, your phone automatically connects wirelessly and you can just go about your day without taking your phone out of your pocket or your purse. It gives you a lot of flexibility, and it's kind of a portable way to have all your favorite apps in whatever car you are. And another thing that you could use this for, so if you don't want to use it with a data plan, is to install an offline navigation app like OSM and have a map of your area loaded into the memory so you can use it where there's no internet and all you need is the GPS signal from the unit. Now a couple specs on this. This unit has 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of onboard storage, so you'd be able to install a bunch of apps if you wanted, load in a bunch of your favorite music, maybe some videos for when you're parked, and The expandability with a micro SD card slot gives you a ton more flexibility for whatever uses you can think of. So that's really neat. So that's the ATOTO CB6. I really like that it adds a ton of features to your car, including wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay if you don't already have that, and the full Android OS to run any app you want for entertainment or productivity. I want to say a big thank you to ATOTO for sending this to me to review, and if you want to get one for yourself, I'll leave links in the video description. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, and if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. If you want to see more videos like this, or you want to watch me work on cheap European cars, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.